Today I'm going to be reviewing this Pioneer Woman paring knife. And this knife is specifically designed for paring, so you could use it on fruits and vegetables and that sort of a thing, but also you could use it on steak if you choose. I do like the fact that it has the regular blade edge on this. It's not serrated or anything like that. To me, that makes it more useful as you can use it on a variety of things. I also do like the fact that this metal is going to run through the handle itself, so that is nice. One thing about this knife, though, is how heavy it is. Now, it's hard to quantify here on a video, but we have a variety of different knives with like a plastic handle. And this one I believe is metal all the way through. Now these blue parts might be plastic, but this is an incredibly heavy knife when compared to all the other pair of knives that we own. So if you're someone who's going to be cutting a lot of things, that might be a good option for you just because you know it has more heft to it. But if you're someone who maybe prefers to have a lighter knife that's going to be easier to handle, you might not want this one, as that this handle is an extremely heavy option. It's truthfully the heaviest knife in regards to a paring knife or even a steak knife that I have ever held. And I've held full metal steak knives, and this one is heavier than that. So not sure exactly why it is so heavy. The handle is just going to be pretty straightforward. So it's just going to come back from the knife blade itself and then come all the way down, and then towards the hilt here, it's going to just have a little bit of a curve. It is a bigger handle versus many other paring knives that are going to have smaller handles on them. This is a bigger one, so I do like that, being able to easily hold it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try and cut through some packaging here with this knife to see how sharp that it actually comes from the manufacturer. So this is just the package that it's going to come with. So this is going to be cardboard and then a little bit of plastic here in the middle. So let me see how well this knife does that. And it is not really cutting through that plastic very well. You can see it's just kind of making noise, and it's not even actually cutting all the way through. So this knife is not going to come there. I was able to snap it by just spinning it, but it didn't even cut through all of this plastic. So definitely doesn't come extremely sharp. Of course, you can sharpen it up, but I'm pretty disappointed in how dull it actually is going to come, especially with a knife like this with that kind of heft. You kind of expect it to come pretty sharp. This one does not. So definitely a downside to that is that you're likely going to want to sharpen it up before you use it. And just to show you that I'm not like cherry picking or anything, this is a Farberware paring knife that I recently purchased. And let me just show you how easily it's going to cut through there. So you can see I just pushed down there and it actually just sliced right through there. Whereas this one, it barely sliced through it and even just sliced through the top part of the cardboard as well. So definitely this Pioneer Woman paring knife is not going to come very sharp, even in comparison to other paring knives that I have recently purchased. Now, one other thing I did want to mention about this knife is that I like about it is that it is going to be the one solid piece. However, it is not designed to be machine washable, even though it is one solid piece all the way down through here. I assume it's because water can get behind the handle or can sit on it and cause it to rust over time. We have put knives like this in a dishwasher in the past without too many issues. So you probably could do it, but Pioneer Woman on the packaging, it does not recommend that you put in the dishwasher. It does recommend that you hand wash it. So again, that's going to be a downside in my opinion versus those knives that you actually can. They do say they allow you to throw them into the dishwashers, like say a ceramic knife or something like that. Overall, it's definitely a good looking knife, but again, in regards to the sharpness, doesn't come extremely sharp, and then also the weight of the handle is a downside, at least in my opinion. Maybe you prefer a heavier handle. That's fine. I personally prefer something a little bit lighter that's going to be easier to handle.